Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Sleepy Hollow, Season 2, Episode 5, The Weeping Lady. I'm your host, Dom. With me is my wine taster, Cleo.
Hello.
And, pirate flag people, I don't know, Pat and Michelle.
Hello.
ER. Welcome back. How was Cali?
It was awesome. Lots of wine drinking. Do you want to enjoy that, Cleo?
It's almost as if Cleo knew.
And
Just trying to catch up. You know, they had a whole trip to drink wine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, now that you guys are back and all caught up, what do you guys think of this episode?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. I loved the whole jealousy thing. Sorry.
Oh, it's really good. Really, really, really good.
Yes.
It kind of shows a whole new dimension at the same point between Ichabod and his wife Katrina. Like that whole, is the mission more important than actually love?
We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also Katrina's never been entirely truthful with him, ever.
No, I was like, what?
And
I never thought of that of her.
That was just, like, we knew that she had lied when she married him because he didn't know she was a witch and stuff. But now there's just a whole new layer to that, her just continually holding things from him.
Exactly, like, is there more? Like, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, secrets are not good things.
No.
Especially when it comes to relationships. So that's going to play out very interestingly.
Especially when the time of the apocalypse. So it was pretty important.
Let's see. Well, Ichabod made a new friend from the Reenactment Society. And just when we think that we're gonna see like this new dynamic between Ichabod and, you know, having these friends outside of Abby and like the case and these supernatural creatures, all of a sudden she gets killed off like 10 minutes into the show.
Yep.
Not cool.
What's up with that?
Casualty.
No. They're being douches.
Well, didn't we?
This
is the second time we've seen her, correct?
Yes, I think she was very briefly in, but she didn't seem like she was very friendly with him, like, outside of the reenactment. So, you know.
This is the first time we see her outside of the reenactment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time it was kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I stumbled upon the whole reenactment by accident.
You fit right in?
Yeah. With the right clothes.
To a T.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see Ichabod hang out with any more people from the Reenactment Society?
I think maybe.
No.
Oh.
I don't think so, because he kind of stated at the end of the episode, like, he's got to stay close with Abby. He can't really get close to anyone else, because whoever they love seems to always get in trouble.
Even though he said that he was, going to come to their meetings every week,
Exactly.
I still think he's going to get very close to anyone because of that.
I agree.
He doesn't want to put anyone in the line of fire.
But he may, maybe he'll show up every once in a while if it's a large one, or if he's upon it again.
I think he's going to maintain himself in the Reenactment Society to keep up an appearance. But outside of, like, having a friendship and carrying that outside of the reenactment, probably not.
Yeah, no.
Just based off what happened to, what's her
Caroline.
face? Caroline? Is that her name?
Caroline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carolyn? I don't know, one of those.
Caroline?
I don't know, she didn't last very long.
No.
No.
Wasn't worth the memory space to retain her name to me.
Sad.
Carol Brown.
I loved seeing her house because she had like an old-timey sewing machine and so cool.
I liked her coffee mug.
Yeah, that was cute.
The whole beginning scene with her being like super awkward around Abby was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
That was great.
Oh, Miss Crane, I'm
Mrs.
sorry.
Crane.
She's like, oh my god. I love her line, though. She totally had Crane on the brain.
Yeah.
That's a
That
good
was
line.
funny.
That's a good
I'm
line.
sorry, I laughed at that.
I like Abby was just like, nope, not getting involved in that one.
Yep.
Sorry, you should have put a tie around the door.
So then, Yeah, you should have.
He's like, no, that's not where I was
He's
going.
super awkward and embarrassed, like at the same time. It's great.
Yes.
But in the meantime, the real Mrs. Crane, Katrina, is able to send out a message by bird, which really contained not a whole lot of actual information. But Abby seemed to have confidence in Katrina. Is this all very surprising to you guys?
To me, it was. Because, like, I've said, yeah, I forgot which episode I said that in, but I was like, yeah, she's on the inside, but I don't think she'll be able to get much information out. And while there was no actual information in that letter, she did send something out, so...
The entire purpose of the letter was to get it into the hands of the Weeping Lady, and it served no other purpose other than that.
Yeah, story-wise, yes, you're right. Writing-wise, yeah. But I think it was sort of Katrina wanting to say, hey, Ichabod, what up? But also not wanting, or not really having much to say besides that Henry's staying in the old home.
And just saying, like, I'm still here, still love you.
Yeah, I think it's
You're my one and only.
It's more of a fact of trying to state, like, hey, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still working on things, but cryptic enough where it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it shows that she's safe, and that
and it also shows that she does have a line of communication to get out. So.
And it shows also that her magic in a way is kind of strengthening a little bit.
And that crow was adorable.
That crow
I absolutely love that image.
Yeah.
I love how Ichabod just like looked and he was so confused at first. He was like, "Wait, carrier pigeon, really?"
Because the crow stuck around, and Ichabod was sort of like, "Move along, thank you."
You're done now before somebody spots you. Go.
Yeah. But I still have in the back of my mind that binding ritual, right? And
yeah,
I have a feeling Katrina's not going to last very long. And Henry brings it up again, and it really seems like this is proof of that premonition that we saw, and that we were thinking, was it a premonition? Is it a dream? So which way are you guys leading? You think the binding ritual is a dream or a premonition?
Premonition.
Premonition, definitely. Yeah.
So you think...
I mean, we had some pause before, because we're like, oh, Katrina's convinced them not to do it. Maybe it won't happen, but it just was further into the future than we thought, because she's not going to be able to fool them or string them along much longer.
Right.
And they're going to get wind of what she's trying to do.
So do you think this premonition is going to be successful, or do you think there's going to be some interference?
It cuts off right before he cuts her head off, so it might get interfered.
I think so.
I'm going to say interference.
Definitely. I mean, she's integral.
The sheer fact of it, too, with this whole thing being a premonition, is Henry's already stated that, it's going to be a matter of time that she is an integral part of their master plan for the apocalypse to occur. At the same point, Abraham goes, I'll wait for you to side with me, but my patience is running thin. And then you have Moloch at the same point after this whole episode essentially going, you can stop planning what you want to because you're doing a horrible job of it.
Yeah. And you listen to me.
Yeah. And essentially scolding him like a little kid having to sit in the corner in timeout.
That's funny. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Henry's going around and he's looking for various things. He finds one of his mother's sins, the Weeping Lady. So do you think this is one of the reasons why he's staying in this house?
Yeah. Maybe he's looking for, like, I don't know, things in that house that maybe he could use against his parents.
I think it's also a connection thing. I'm really going to go with that, too. This was where he was born.
Yeah.
He had really no kind of childhood. This could be the only way that the writers can kind of connect and possibly bring a fact of him ever changing to be good as opposed to being pure evil the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, we have Abraham's weakness is, of course, Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe the fact of him actually getting family again and actually having some kind of connection to society or just to love itself will be his turning point.
Well, he already has family, Katrina and Ichabod.
No, but he doesn't treat them as family.
No, he doesn't now, but he might at a later point.
No, he jokes around saying family when he's the lawyer and goes, "Oh yeah, I can always find room to have family be part of my clientele."
Yeah.
Do you think his intention all along was to have Crane and Abby expose the identity of the Weeping Lady to drive Ichabod and Katrina apart?
Well, I think he was definitely searching for a way to drive them apart, especially since he probably knows she's trying to get information back to them.
Yes.
While she's with Abraham. So
I wouldn't have.
he definitely wants to wedge them apart. Because he's already tried to do that with Abby and Jenny.
Because later on we end up seeing him get reprimanded by Moloch to stop thinking for himself. He's a soldier.
Exactly. Yeah. You listen to me. That's it.
Yeah.
But no, he's determined to try to break them apart.
Yep.
Whether it be Katrina and Ichabod or the Mills sisters.
Yep. We also got to see more of Holly. What's his first name?
I don't know. I just learned his last name.
He's interesting.
The Nathan Drake-esque character.
The Nathan Drake of the show.
Yeah. Anyway, we get to see a little bit more of him, and he played actually a lot bigger role, I think, in this episode than he did last week. So, I don't know, I'm glad to see him sticking around. It also seems like he's actually starting to believe in the supernatural.
Hopefully, unless he's just another way for him to just try and, like, pawn items.
His first name is Nick.
Nick. Okay, so Nick. I'm never going to remember that.
Probably won't either. I don't really like it. I mean, he's alright, but...
I love him.
I really like him. I think he brings an awesome dynamic. He couldn't have said it better himself. He goes, does everyone that sell Christmas trees have to believe in Santa Claus?
Yeah.
You know, it's true.
I mean, I do agree he brings a, different dynamic. That's true. A completely different type of character, but... Interesting.
I'm glad they addressed his believing, because last episode I did not get the sense that he believed. No. I got the sense that he saw a supernatural creature and was like, no, that can't be real, I'm leaving now.
Or that's just somebody dressed up or playing a really, really cruel dude. Yeah.
I was on the fence. I didn't know for sure, but I felt like he was starting to understand that he was, especially hanging around with Abby and Ichabod. He's gotta at some point start learning. I mean, the lieutenant or colonel, whatever he was, the guy that's in the asylum right now.
Captain Irving.
Captain Irving.
Yeah.
He didn't believe. All of a sudden, there's no turning back for him now. You know, so anybody that hangs around with him long enough is gonna start to realize the truth.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then we also saw Nick flirting with Abby. Like, it's been kind of this slow build, it's going on, and then all of a sudden, it veers off into left field, and we see him and Jenny hook up at the end of the episode.
I was like, what?
And it seems like they've also had a past relationship from the way they were talking.
I mean, I kind of got that sense from the first episode that Holly was in, where he was, because he was like, Jenny was acting really weird. He said that to Abby, and I was like, how would he know how weird she would act? How would he be able to gauge that? And if he was involved with her, then he'd be able to. So it makes sense. But it was still like, oh, this is gonna cause some problems.
But I wonder how long it's been going on with them. Because she was in and out of jail, she was in jail for a brief period, and then she was in the asylum
for a while, because in turn, he knew about ancient artifacts. Her whole job was searching for ancient artifacts. because she was looking for all this stuff to build up an arsenal against the apocalypse. So,
yeah. So probably as long as Corbin had been sending her out to do stuff is how long she's known him. So it could have been like an on-off thing, especially if she was in and out of jail / psych.
Exactly. That's why I was like, did she know him for a very, very long time, or was this just a brief
It seems like it was a brief but meaningful fling.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the impression that I got out of it, and I see this kind of tearing the sisters apart, and it seems like that's kind of the overall theme right now. As you could see, there's been some physical tearing apart of Ichabod and Abby. I'm trying to call him Abby Kabod or something. I don't even know.
Abby Kabod.
Not even intentionally. That's just how it was trying to come out of my mouth. But Ichabod and Abby were physically split at the beginning of the episode or season. Then we had Jenny and Abby have been kind of all over the place split. But if a guy gets between them now, that's gonna be big, big, big trouble. And then it looks like Ichabod and Katrina are kind of going off on this separate path. So it's like
a little bit.
The whole theme right now is everybody's split.
And I mean, we see that with all the advertisements for the show. All of the advertising for the show is Ichabod and Abby reaching out to each other while being pulled apart by branches.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole. I feel like that's the whole theme for this season.
Yeah.
Is breaking away.
It's gonna be rough.
Makes sense.
It'll be rough.
Yep.
And then going back to the main antagonist of this episode, the Weeping Lady. She had some really strong mental problems, in real life, and it was because of her being torn away from Ichabod. She knew what was going on with Katrina on the side, and then she got really jealous, and she's accusing everybody that comes in contact with her.
I think especially at that point, there wasn't really anything going on between Ichabod and Katrina except for eyes. Hey,
right.
Because she was still, engaged to his best friend, Abraham. And she was away, in Europe. And then she came back, or England, and then she came back.
But the crossbow that Nick lent them didn't really end up working, did it?
Not really.
No. Kind of like.
And I was like, had my supernatural lore in my head. I'm like, iron, yeah, sure, that'll work. It sticks her, and she just keeps going. And I'm like, oh, nope, guess not.
Too strong of a spirit.
Well, it also had the Greek fire, so it technically did work. It just didn't work against her.
Yeah.
Evil spirit, yeah.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
You left.
I don't know if she could really be considered an evil spirit.
She was a corrupted spirit. Because she was benign until Henry angered her, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever Henry did with his magic caused her to become disgruntled.
Right.
And she was probably already, an upset spirit, obviously to begin with, being very, depressed and...
Yeah.
He just created the jealousy in her, so...
Yeah.
She was definitely left to wander the, New England area. But she had never killed anyone before.
No.
It was only when Henry activated whatever spell he used that caused her to lash out.
That's true.
Yep. Then, as I mentioned before, we had that scene with Moloch, at the end, where Moloch referred to Katrina as one of the Hellfire Shards.
Yeah.
And the fact that she is a vessel.
Listen, I tried to look up Hellfire Shards. I have no idea what it is. It sounds like some biblical thing, but I couldn't find anything about it. I also had 15 minutes to look it up, so I didn't actually have the time to really put in. But yeah, it sounds like something that's in Christian lore and stuff like that.
Part of something.
Like
part of a bigger something, which is true.
It's a what?
I think it's part of... Pat says it sounds like a video game term. I think it, a Hellfire Shard, we know it's just part of something, a larger part of something. Maybe like a Holocrux sort of thing, if you will, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe like
interesting.
A bunch of powerful people put together, used against the good to bring about the apocalypse.
Well, we know shards are something that splintered off from something else. So the shards need to come together is to make something more powerful.
And Dom, that's why, like, when you were like, do you think Katrina, you know, the premonition and everything, that's why I think she'll last a very long time.
Did he specifically refer to Katrina as the Hellfire Shards? I know he mentioned her as the vessel. Initially, I was under the impression that the Weeping Lady was the Hellfire Shard.
No,
Katrina.
No, because Moloch was reprimanding Henry for putting Katrina's life in danger, and he refers to Katrina as one of the Hellfire Shards. It's here in the synopsis.
Yep.
She's one of the Hellfire Shards, a chosen vessel.
Yep.
Gotcha. We actually, clearly, John in chat is saying Hellfire Shard, which is actually funny enough for Pat. Is an item
in Diablo 3. I found that.
Yeah, it's an item in Diablo 3.
Yeah, I just looked that up and found it.
Which Pat is playing right now.
It's that term is used in Diablo 3 and in World of Warcraft, I think. Some sort of Warcraft thing. And but that's because it's in Diablo 3 is why I think it's a biblical thing. But I haven't found anything further than video game references for it.
It's interesting.
But someone on Tumblr, I wish I could, bring up the actual post. But Tumblr's links really suck. But she said that Jenny was also a vessel for a demon.
Yep.
So it could be something like that, where maybe Jenny's one of the shards too.
Could be.
Or for just a spirit to embody, to take into some,
maybe
to use somebody once they're dead. Exactly. To possess.
Katrina's spirit matches up with a demon that Moloch is gonna help bring about the apocalypse or something. I don't know.
Right. All in time, I'm sure.
I liked this whole episode, and then it got to the thing with Moloch saying those things about Katrina. And I'm like, what? Why are you ending now?
It's like, now I want to know.
From what I just looked up, hellfire itself is usually used in reference to the fires of hell or lake of fire in hell. So, obviously, hellfire, a fire of hell, that's a little too obvious. But a lake of fire would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, if we're going to use it in that context, then shard is piece of.
Yeah.
In turn, she must be an integral piece of bringing hell onto Earth.
Like a
lake of fire.
Yep.
Or the hellfire shards could be what Moloch needs to come into the real world to manifest, because we know a vessel is basically a meat suit. So
or a pod, if you will.
If Moloch could transfer himself into a vessel, he would take on that form.
He lost the other way in.
Yes,
he's lost that doorway.
Yep.
So maybe now it's through possession and taking over like an alien.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
Yep.
So exciting.
And next week, the episode is called "And the Abyss Gazes Back," and in it, Sheriff Corbin's son returns from war, but his strange behavior leads Abby and Ichabod to question his intentions. Not a whole lot to touch on there, but Sheriff Corbin is the sheriff that died. Right?
Yes, and his son. Oh, we finally get to meet his son.
I didn't realize he had a son. If you mentioned it, I completely forgot.
I don't remember a mention. So if it was, it's something that was done in passing very briefly.
I think it was in the first season when he talked to one of the flashbacks with Abigail and him talking. He said something about his son or something.
Yeah.
But it was a real, like you said, a real brief thing. It wasn't. We've never met him.
Yeah.
The synopsis saying that they question his intentions makes me think that maybe Moloch's gotten a hold of him.
Well, they say his strange behaviors, so it could just, he's acting funny. Maybe he knows, because Sheriff Corbin, we know, knew about all this stuff.
Yeah.
So if he's also in tune and adept to the supernatural world, his strange behavior could just be he's looking for something, or he's, information or physical objects, something along those lines. And for him to be acting like that, having Ichabod would be the first people to notice something like that.
Like there's a reason for Abby to doubt him. I feel like if Abby comes into contact with Corbin's son, I mean, I feel like she's gonna put her faith in him.
Mm.
But if she sees something that makes her doubt, I feel like it's gonna have to be something really, obvious for her to be like, wait, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna blindside her if he is being used by Moloch.
Right.
Definitely gonna blindside.
Yeah, but that would be typical.
Hey!
Like that's just like obvious as all hell. Like in my mind, I'm thinking more of he acts very suspicious, but in all actuality, he's on their side.
Mm. Yeah, maybe he comes up and doesn't realize that they know all of this stuff.
That's true.
He's been gone in a way,
that's
in
true.
service.
Yay!
And Corbin might have not had the time before he died to
I hear meowie.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, he tried picking her up. Sorry. Stop it.
Not yet. That's my papa.
So, you guys have anything else you'd like to add to this?
I am really excited to see all of the different Hellfire Shard theories that come up over the next couple episodes.
Me too. And
I feel like this is a tease that we're not going to get to hear any more about for a while.
Yes, and interesting enough, I also noticed in the preview for next week, we see Henry grinding something up with that mortar again.
Great.
So,
Great.
Hey, I think he's gonna mix a potion up of some sort.
Yeah.
Some kind of alchemy going on here, yeah.
Yeah, something that's gonna help him raise an army.
Exactly. Or maybe another to help weaken to open another portal. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the army because I think in turn he's crushing. He's
Mm-hmm.
crushing all these parts of different demons.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So in turn, it's gonna create a super demon. That's my theory.
Oh.
It's gonna have parts of each one of them.
So the third horseman.
We saw him possibly, yeah, but we saw him crush up the Pied Piper's flute, which is designed to get people to follow him.
Right.
So what I think is he's making a potion to get people to follow him, so that then he has an army.
Or maybe not people, but maybe
beings.
Yes.
Yeah, something supernatural.
That is why I love this show. Oh,
It's a good show.
That can happen so much.
Yes. Anything else before I wrap this up?
Yeah, we agree.
No?
Totally good.
We are good.
This is a good episode.
It is a very good episode. So on that note, Cleo, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Cleomoto, and if you go follow me on Pinterest, I am going to do a giveaway once I reach 100 followers, which I'm very close to.
We actually just hit 300 subscribers ourselves.
Yay! Go!
Pat Michelle, where can the people find you?
Time and space.
Alright.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I was waiting for it. I've reached the point where I accept it now, and before I continue on with my speech, I pause and wait for it.
Aww, that's sweet.
Okay.
No, you see, you have to keep talking so I can sing it over you and interrupt you.
You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, G+, MySpace.
Oh, MySpace.
And YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. You can thank Cleo for the MySpace. Just letting you know that. That was all her. 100% her.
Road trip to Sleepy Hollow.
Till next week. See you guys later.
What did your glass say on it?
Oh, Renault Winery.
Oh, where is that?
That's in New Jersey. It's like a half an hour away from Atlantic City.
I'm always looking to go to like different wine. I just like road tripping to them, so that's good to know. Have you ever
wine sucks.
seen her?